Hey guys, so this is going to be part 3 in my tutorial series to FL Studio. I think the first thing you'll notice is that now I have a face cam. I figured I don't really show my face much in my videos, so here you go. It also means you get a good view of my room and also my keyboard, which I'll be using in this video. So I decided I'd go through my thought process of how to make music, along with more specific stuff such as EQ, audio effects, and also how to set up an audio interface. That being said, before we start, make sure you subscribe because I'd really appreciate it. I'm also trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if we can get there, that would be amazing, and it needs your help. So, anyways, let's get on with the video. So the first thing I think I should mention is that normally I have an idea in mind as to what to make before I start. Normally it'd be a chord progression or a good drum beat, but I'm never really starting from scratch. So I think what I'll do is I'll start off with drums. I'll go into the packs folder, there's drums and drums by Mode Audio. I normally use Mode Audio because it has a bigger selection. That being said, I'm going to go through and find some good sounds. Oh yeah, and also drag it into the channel rack instead of the playlist. Right, and I'm finished getting sounds. I think what you'll notice is that I've got 4 rim sounds all stacked together. I've laid them because normally snares and rims, when laid, they sound a lot better. And now what I'll do is I'll start making the beat itself. And I've finished. One thing to note is with the hi-hats, what I normally do is for every second beat I had the velocity be a bit lower. This kind of makes it sound like it's panning a bit and it feels more natural. I did this with both, by the way. Right, now that that's done, I'll just drag this onto the playlist. I also might give it a name as well, something like full drums, and give it a color. I like blue, just feels nice. And I might add a few more. And what you can also do is you can loop it by selecting this part of the playlist, and then it should loop. To be honest, it's just a basic beat, it's not too complicated. Right, now I'll move on to the keys. Before that I will mention I'm going to use my audio interface for this because there's 2 ways of recording keys mainly. There's MIDI recording and then audio recording. The reason I'm using audio recording is because I don't have a good enough sound on the system to use for MIDI, so I'm just going to record straight from the keyboard. To do that, what you want to do is you'll select a track on the mixer and then go to here and input 2. Input 1 is for microphone inputs and input 2 is for instruments. Oh, actually I just remembered. When setting up audio interfaces, what you want to do is you go into System Preferences first and then go to Sound and select the audio interface that you're using. I have a Mac. I think it might be a bit different for Windows, but I don't know. Right, now I'm going to start recording. And now that that's finished, I'll go through and select the part that I like. One thing with recording is sometimes you'll experience a little bit of delay. The reason why that might be is because of buffer length. I've set it to a higher buffer length because that way I experience less crackles and other stuff. If you set it to a lower one, you'll have less delay, but you might have a lot more interference. Having it around about 40 milliseconds is better safe than sorry, but you'll still have a bit of delay. What you can do is you can just cut out the first part and bing bada boom. That being said, I'm not going to have all of this, I'll just take a part that I like. And there we go. I don't think I'll add any effects to the keys just yet. I'm thinking I might, like a bit of flanger, or these are just audio effects that you can put into consideration, but I'll move on. I'm going to add a bass now. Now in my opinion the best bass sound is the Ibanez because I use it a lot. It just has a nice feel to it. So go to piano roll. Actually, before that, you'll want to get a new pattern. I'll label it bass. Then what you want to do is go into piano roll and pencil in some notes. If you don't know much music theory, then it might be a bit difficult to know what to do from here, but if you just do bass notes, such as the chords I'm playing are like A minor 7, just play the bass note A, and then you can do stuff like syncopate so that it sounds nicer. Yeah, so my camera just died out of nowhere. It was kind of like adios and stopped working. But I didn't really do too much after it died. I just finished up the bass, and now it sounds like this. But I'm not finished with the bass yet, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some EQ to it. The first thing I need to do is route it to a track first, so I'll pick 4, and then what you'll want to do is open up Parametric EQ. They've got 4 of them. I think they're all pretty similar, don't need to worry. The latest one's probably the best in my opinion, because you get good visuals, like so. Normally when I'm using EQ, I'll kind of judge by ear, so I'll move it around a bit and see what works. With the bass, normally you'll want this band right here to be somewhat higher, because that's where the bass comes in the most, as you can see. If you need a little bit of help with what goes where, these are good indicators right here. So just mess around and see what works, in my opinion. Keep in mind it also helps to solo the track so you can just hear the bass. And that's finished. It kind of has a general curve shape to it. You can also browse some presets as well. I won't go through them because then I'll mess this up. I'll use a separate track as an example of some presets you can use. There's kick. Old Telephone's a pretty good one, in my opinion. And radio, light drum sizzle. There's some pretty good information on YouTube and some websites on how to use EQ. And I think that might be it for the main beat. Actually, I might add a bit of a guitar to it. I'm gonna grab that. And as always when recording, I'll select these inputs. I don't think I'll add too much guitar, I'll just play a bit of, I don't know. I reckon this could probably go later on in the song. And I think that should be all the elements I'll add. So I've got drums, keys, bass, and a little bit of guitar. I'll add a bit later, I think, but not too much for now. And I think the rest should be up to Foley, which is just extra drum sounds, SFX, which would be like rises, sweeps and stuff, and miscellaneous, I think. There's not much else I'll go through in this video. I might just time-lapse the rest and show you the finished product. But apart from that, that's it. I hope you found this somewhat helpful. If you do need to ask a question, you can feel free in the comments below. I'll leave a link to another channel in my video description, so if you need any help you can go check that out. His channel name's In The Mix, he's pretty helpful. I mentioned him in my other video. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Again, please subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you in my next video.